April here on Tarot and Witchery with my final installment of ideas for oracles that I'm doing in 2023. If you haven't seen the rest of them, you should. They kind of build. Today we're talking about the superpower card. Superpower. And I love using this card in my readings. So I guess I would ask right now, before we get going, who was your favorite superhero when you were growing up? Let me know down below in the comments, who was your favorite superhero and why? Like, why did you admire them? And then we'll jump into the superpower card, not to be confused with the power card. This is very different. All right, so before we jump into it, I just want to let you know that I have different playlists on here that you can check out. And I also have a mailing list with a newsletter that lets you know, like, when I drop a course. You can sign up for that down below, and when you do, you get access to my free learning library. All right, let's jump into using the superpower card and what it's all about. Unlike the power card is something that empowers us, something that we can use in our daily life all the time, right? And I go more into depth into that in that video, so you can check it out. The superpower card is about something that we pull out. So, you know, Clark Kent is Clark Kent throughout the day. He's not Superman all the time. Like, he's not using his superpower all the time. And I think that's something that's really important distinction. I like to do this at the end of a reading, the superpower card at the end of the reading. So just so you know, this is the Shadows of Light Oracle that I'm using by Haley Claire, just to kind of give you some ideas. I personally like decks that have a single word on them, oracle decks that have a single word to them. And I have a link to this down below. So like resonance, but there's also joy, momentum, the flow, effort, creativity. So if you had a superpower, you're doing the reading and maybe it's like situational. I think this is really good for situational things. Like how the heck do I deal with this situation or this person, right? And you get all done with the reading and you've learned all about the dynamics and all the cards have told you all this stuff that you probably already know deep down inside, and really affirmed the wisdom that's within you and maybe given you some glimmers of new things to think about. And then you think, and I just need a superpower card. I need a superpower that I can pull out in that moment that's really going to help me to be above and beyond what I normally am. You know, that's what a superpower is. Like, a superhero is not being their superhero self all the time. That would be exhausting. So this is something that we pull out, that we don't use all the time. We just use in that moment. And so focus and draw a card. Now, let's say that I drew the card, the now card here. You know, you may have to really think about it. And you just have to trust yourself, you guys. Trust yourself more in your readings. This is the right card, and I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure out how this fits in there, or maybe it will just automatically be like, yes, that makes so much sense. If you're flowing in your reading, generally that last card you pull, whether it's a superpower card, a power card, an anchor card, it's going to feel like it fits with the reading. So I get now here. And seize the moment. You know, for me, this would be like, am I being present? Am I dwelling on past moments? Am I dwelling on past ideas? Or am I really present in this moment? Because sometimes, like, if let's say this is dealing with a person, you're going to need this superpower. You get into the situation, you start feeling uncomfortable. Make sure you use your superpower before you're in your lizard brain, because you won't remember how to use your superpower. And I remember that my superpower is now. It's being present. Am I being present? Am I really here? Or am I letting this person gaslight me into something else? I can let that go. My superpower is that I'm super present. No, you know what we're talking about here is actually this. And I'm going to keep coming back to what we're talking about. Nope, that's still not it. We're actually talking about X, so maybe now is my superpower card. Another deck, just to give you a different idea, if you weren't going to use the Shadows of Light deck here, even the Mists of Avalon Oracle has some great cards, and you'll see that these are very different. So this is Lady of the Lake. So in a lot of ways, these are already superheroes, right? Merlin, King Arthur, Guinevere, Igraine, Taliesin, Lancelot. So these are already superheroes. And the Lady of Shalott. You can really spend some time channeling these different, these different already superpowers. You could use a goddess deck. A goddess deck would be a great thing to do because they already possess a superpower. The thing with the superpower card is it does take a little bit of effort for you to spend some time actually meditating on that superpower. You've really got to feel it underneath your clothes. And I think like Clark Kent is a great one because he's always like whipping off his clothes, right? And underneath is his, I don't know how the cape fits under there, but it does. But anyway, he's always whipping off his clothes. So you have to really have it seated underneath the surface in order for you to really feel like you can pull it out in that moment. You've got to spend some time really meditating on it. I'm jumping over here to grab this. Meditating on it. The other way you can do a superpower card is you can actually think to yourself, this is the Goddess Oracle, oldie but a goodie. And you can spend some time just actually going through and choosing something that you feel will be the superpower that you need. And then maybe you want to take that superpower card and you want to leave it out. If this is something that's happening at work, maybe you want to take a picture of it and put it on your phone or make a copy of it and put it up on your desk and so that you see it and you're reminded of it, like, oop, when I need that superpower, it's going to be right there. I'm going to be able to pull that superpower out in order to navigate this situation. And so the superpower card, again, it's a very specific usage. It's a rarity. I think superpower cards are a rarity because they take a lot of energy to really sit and cultivate that and groove on that. You need to do it several times over and over again, in my opinion, to really make it work and test it out in that situation. And it really takes practice because usually when you're in situational places like that, it can be very emotionally charged. And so again, you've got to have meditative sessions with that superpower so it's right under the surface. So just like Wonder Woman, you're just a spin away, you're just a mindset spin away into your superpower, your superhero self, to where you can be that person that you need to be, who is strong in the ways that you feel like that you aren't naturally. You know, it's kind of like your secret. It's a secret weapon. Superheroes are secret, right? So it's a secret weapon. It's also another magical principle. I would tell you not to tell anyone. Not to tell anyone. Don't tell your person in your argument or at work. Don't tell anyone. It's your own magic. Hold that magic inside. Let it be your own superpower that only you know about. And that's going to make it even more powerful. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of this series. I would love to hear your thoughts about it. And you might want to watch the rest of them. If you made it this far, go ahead and like the video if you would. And take a moment to leave me a superhero emoji down below, or maybe a string of emojis that symbolizes superpower that you really admire. Until we meet again, may you have the bravery to dig deep and pull out that special hidden power that is just right for the moment you're in.